time for Sports on the Bayou, a detailed account of the sports scene in Louisiana. Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury will break down the weekly Saints game, brought to you by the American flag, as well as the St. Martin and Bourke weekly LSU breakdown. Harry McCullough will bring us a Louisiana's Cajun Bayou Lafourche Parish segment, featuring key games of local interest. Dr. Pat, our favorite ENT, is always on top of the
asking all them questions. Why you asking all them questions? Making statements.
Stan Grava will bring us local pertinent medical sports information as well as high school sports. Martin False, that's me, will open up the mics in the crowd to see what's on the fans' mind. More talk and plenty of audience questions. Live from the Eugene and Lorraine Falls studios in Houma, Louisiana, it's time for Sports on the Bayou. And here's Mike Detillier.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Sports on the Bayou. Mike Detillier, along with the Cajun Cannon, Bobby Hebert, Rich Maury. Got a lot to talk about, no highlights, but we got a lot to talk about today with the Saints Dolphins right after this break.
Was your business interrupted by Hurricane Ida? You may be entitled to compensation. Insurance companies may try to pay you much less than your losses, or even deny your claim altogether. St. Martin and Bourke and Hafiz Duval are partnering together to fight for your fair payout. Go to myidaclaim.com for your free case review today. Never give up because your insurance company has denied your claim, and never accept a lowball offer. Let St. Martin and Bourke and Hafiz Duval help you weather the storm. Visit myidaclaim.com today.
If you have nasal breathing difficulties, snoring, mouth breathing, gritting and grinding of your teeth, TMJ, or headaches during the day, along with fatigue, depression, weight gain, you may have sleep apnea, which can easily be diagnosed via an in-office visit and home sleep study. If you or a loved one are having these symptoms and it's impacting your life, please schedule an appointment with us for an evaluation.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafourche. And by St. Martin and Bourke, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
Back here on Sports on the Bayou. Guys, last night, 20-3, Saints lost to the Dolphins. Once the pick six happened with Nick Needham, it was like game, set, match. That was absolutely nothing happening. Again, 22 players out with COVID. The Dolphins fielded basically their team. They had a couple of little shots here and there, but nothing compared to the Saints. Absolutely nothing. And you got a situation where you're playing a rookie quarterback behind that offensive line, which was lousy, and even worse, you had your first-round pick of a year ago, Cesar Ruiz. He was getting his clock clean every play by Christian Wilkins, who's really one of the best interior defensive linemen in the NFL. But the stat that stands out, you 0 for 12 on third down, 1 for 3 on fourth down, so you 1 for 15 on either third or fourth down conversions, 8 sacks, 2 turnovers. Man, you ain't winning squat with that sort of situation.
Well, how are you going to have sustained drives? We had like -2 after the first quarter. No, it was so discouraging that, listen.
He left. Him and I watching the game, he left.
I left and went smoke a cigar. I was like, I'm not watching the end of this game. A quarter and a half.
It was ugly.
I said, Micah, I'm leaving because I gotta mellow out.
You mean Miami's not that good? They've won 7 in a row.
No, but their defense.
They're not bad.
Is legit.
Yeah.
It's legit. Now, their offense is shaky.
Now, Jalen Waddle has come on. Mike, I want to say he set a record for a rookie on Monday Night Football. He had 10 catches?
And he is just, I think, 4 catches away from breaking the rookie record on receptions from Antoine Bolden had it.
And yardage, too, I think. Don't he have the yardage thing? But
he definitely have the
receptions
part of it. And, man, he was it. 12, they basically went at him 12 times, 10 catches. And so, boy, you see the impact he's had.
But, our defense is we're really in the game except for that one play, third down play where he throws it up. And
that's what I told Mike we're not going to win.
That's what he told me. I'm out.
Yeah, at that point,
when Paulson and Debo, it was 3rd and long, gave up that play, I go, it was only 10-3.
Right, we're in the game.
10-3. I said, now when that happened.
And it got people with bad TVs because, man, we got a bunch of people that texted in last night and tried to call in about that wasn't a catch. I'm like, what? Man, what did you see that everybody, man, listen.
Well, they have a lot of Saints fans, the refs always cheat. That doesn't matter what happens. And I always try and be objective. Like, there were 7 penalties against the Dolphins, 7 against the Saints. I think overall, that's a lot of penalties, but I think it was fine. Okay. But what's discouraging before we go to the highlights? Do we have a dome field advantage? What? No, listen. Now, since 2018, no one has won more games than the Saints on the road. Since 2018, I want to say it's like 25 wins. That is unbelievable. I remember Coach Morris saying that, okay, how you get to double-digit wins? We had 16 games. Okay, you got to go 500 on the road, 4-4, and go 6-2 at home. We are in the last 7 games in the dome. We 1-6.
1-6.
Well, the fans are ready to cheer, blackout, and all that. Well, what? You throw a pick 6, what were they just going to yell to be yelling? They're going to come try and arrest you and put you in the insane asylum. You're just yelling. No, you have to give them something to cheer for. And the Saints in the dome, we have not done that as of late.
We're going to go to the highlights or the lowlights of the Saints' 20-3 loss to the Miami Dolphins. And it was early, and this is all they needed.
It was tipped, though. Give them the
It was tipped, but you see that play?
I think
defensive backs always look at your eyes just like a snake. It's like a wave like this. But when he went, if he'd have came back to Kamara, he would have had him.
Why are we throwing outside patterns, which is the toughest pattern to throw for a quarterback?
Isn't inside.
Now,
Marquez Callaway, he had a good game.
Yeah, he had a
This is about the only really productive play for Alvin Kamara.
The best play for Alvin Kamara. The last 2 games, he's had 91 total yards. That should be 91 plus in 1 game. He only had 31 against the Bucs.
I don't think he's running 100%. He's not. His heart hasn't been in.
No, his heart. He's 100%. Man, the Dolphins were punking him. The Dolphins, man.
And then Brenton here gets in a 38-yard field goal. And then Tua steps up and launches this.
And Jalen Waddle was wide open on the crossing route.
Yeah, he missed that one. And Marshawn Lattimore comes up with the interception. But, man, it was unbelievable.
We're going back to I formation.
And they had people. And this is a decent play here by little Jordan Humphrey. Comes up with kind of a jump ball.
Where's his speed, though?
No, he's a big
Rich,
target.
You can outrun him today. But it was constant.
Okay, you look at that play. Cesar Ruiz, the offensive lineman we're counting on, he gets beat from the get-go. Cesar Ruiz is not a first-round draft pick. He's been a bust.
That's a Sean Payton pick, too. Sean wanted Ruiz, and look who got picked. 1 pick after him. Patrick Queen, who made the Pro Bowl from LSU with the Baltimore Ravens.
And Mike, I even told you we could have drafted T. Higgins from Clemson who went to the Bengals. We could have had him to help our wide receiving core. Cesar Ruiz, he's not even as good as Throckmorton, who is a free agent out of Oregon. No, it's very discouraging there.
And guys, again, we in no man's land here because we don't know who's going to play Sunday. Now the Panthers are starting to lose players already. Shaq Thompson, Brian Burns on the COVID list. And very questionable if they'll play Sunday. So, Rich and Bob, I mean, it's like who's standing at the end?
How far is the NFL going to go to allow that because the inequities of these games.
The product is getting diminished.
It is. That's
and
the problem.
people who are paying money to go to those games, suites, they're getting shortchanged.
Well, TV too. What sponsors are watching after the first quarter?
The gambling part is taking care of
TV's. Yeah, I guess the gambling keeps it going, but TV's got to be sitting back saying, "Wait a second." At some point, you're not putting the product out there. People are not going to watch.
Well, the whole thing. If you look at Cam Jordan's situation going forward, how he didn't have any symptoms, he'd be playing now. The NFL, according to the agreement with the Players Association, because you have to collectively bargain everything.
Right.
You got management, you got the players. So going forward now, if you don't have any symptoms, Cam Jordan would have played. He never would have missed a game.
Plus, they reduced it to 5 days. Didn't
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But when does the clock start?
Yes,
that becomes the issue. But you grew up where there was a lot of union involvement. See, in Louisiana, there's not a lot of that.
It's a right-to-work state.
It's a right-to-work
I was a
state.
union rep, actually. I don't know if I'm proud to say that or not during the strike.
As conservative as you are, Rich, you were a union rep.
I was a
That's
leader, Bobby. You have leadership. You know, you can be athletic.
That's
and
an
you can have skill
oxymoron.
set up to here, but if you don't have the leadership, it knocks you way down to here.
But
it's like I'm a conservative, but I'm in charge of the union.
Don't you have to negotiate that between management and the players? And that's where I think we're getting in no man's land. I think some of the players are, man, just let us play. And I think that there is a gray area there where management and players don't see eye to eye.
Same with the union. And not everybody's on board with the union.
Well, you know what's going to happen? You're going to see the latter part of the season going into the playoffs is going to affect the team whether they win or lose because who's available to play.
That's exactly right.
That's just around the corner.
Right.
I mean, 2-3
We'll be
weeks.
back with more sports on the Bayou.
Over the years, Louisiana's Cajun Bayou has seen more than its fair share of challenges. We're no strangers to adversity, and we know what it's like to struggle. These are unprecedented times, and while people will say this time is like nothing they've ever seen, we've heard that before. And just like all the other times, we'll get through this. Remember the good times. Remember Lafouche.
Hi, I'm Harvey Sharp, owner of Bayou Pure Disinfection and Restoration Services. Whether it's your home or your business, Bayou Pure specializes in disinfection application, along with water, fire, mold damage cleanup. Bayou Pure's supercharged delivery system, coupled with our hospital-grade disinfectant, revolutionizes the standard of clean and is proven effective as a virucide, sanitizer, disinfectant, and a fungicide. Call Bayou Pure today to get your free consultation at 985-322-3003.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafouche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford & Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou. Guys, this is our LSU segment. And before we start talking about LSU, Kansas State, man, what a first 2 years we are watching from Justin Jefferson with the Vikings, and who's basically breaking every record. And he hasn't got to that 16th, 17th week yet, where we know a lot of these records are going to get broken now because you've added an extra game.
Yeah.
But Jefferson's breaking them before he even gets to that. When you look at the tremendous receivers that have come out of LSU, if it's Odell Beckham,
Jarvis Landry,
and Justin Jefferson, a two-star recruit from Destrehan, is shattering those records. But if he turns just like this, got Jamar Chase chasing him for the deal. Man, what a group of receivers and those guys from the state of Louisiana.
You still got to be in the right situation with a good quarterback. I mean, it's kind of like playing with Breeze, right? And Jimmy Graham, I think, came out and said it not too long ago. He would have been the greatest tight end ever if he stayed with Breeze.
Yeah,
right?
well,
So
Rich, how about Joe Burrow, Mike?
Burrow's killing it, too.
I mean, look, 500-plus yards, what he's done. Joe Burrow, he makes a lot of coaches look good. I'm just telling you,
you gotta love his attitude, though. I mean, the guy is just cool.
He looks like he's 12 years old. You see him in that interview with that Santa Claus hat?
Right, but he's got him this big. I mean,
Rich, he probably shaves like me once or twice a week. I don't know.
He uses a brush.
Yeah.
Almost like a lip brush.
But I tell you what, in that mind, Joe Burrow. You don't think Cincinnati was irrelevant? Now think how relevant they are now with Joe Burrow.
They must watch TV now.
Yes.
They must watch television because of Joe. And it's so interesting at the end of the game because the last time they played Baltimore, the defensive coordinator for the Ravens made the comment, Wink Martindale made the comment that, hey, why y'all giving all this praise to Joe Burrow? Are we fitting him for the NFL Hall of Fame? Man, you done poked the bad bear.
Game the business.
He was like, okay, late in the game, I'll show you about that. And they were throwing it.
He said he did think about that. It did spur him up a little bit.
They asked him, did that motivate you? No, I don't know. But, yeah, I kind of thought about it.
That stuff was hanging in his locker room.
If you know Joe and how he was at LSU, challenging linemen, linebackers, man, him and a couple of guys got into
Don't poke the bear.
Don't poke him.
Don't
he's
do
fixing
it.
to bite you.
You bet, you're awesome. I think you're great and all that. Don't say like, oh, man, we're going to get to you. No, that motivates them.
Is Cincinnati good enough? I'm not sure they're good enough yet, but I think they will be.
They're right on the cusp.
Yeah, they're really close.
That offense is really rolling now. How well they can play consistent defense, is going to be the question. And Trey Hendrickson's having a great year.
Well, the team to me, and Mike, we read the Silver Slipper. We had and I was telling this earlier, watch out, because how the team is structured for the Colts. Watch Indianapolis Colts because their defense, they went in the trenches how they structured. And they have an MVP candidate at running back. Now, if Carson Wentz just does a little bit, I mean,
you don't have to cart 2 buckets of water. Just
remember when they beat the Patriots? They beat the Patriots at their own game. Carson Wentz completed 5 passes. You know how Belichick would want to win, how they beat the Bills the first time. That's what Carson Wentz did against the Patriots. I'm telling you, watch out for the Colts.
Yeah, well, every year at this time of year, you look at the teams that are
Kansas
playing
City
better
is
each
the
week.
other.
Oh yeah,
they're all doing this. They're all playing better each week, and so they got to rally at the end. And that Colts are certainly.
And you think about it, although those 2 teams have had their little run of COVID pass through, and it's past them already. Guys, LSU plays Kansas State.
So we're going to have the game for sure? I don't know.
Well, listen, ain't nothing for sure. Yeah. Nothing for sure. But one of the things that's coming out of LSU is Jontre Kirkland, young man who played high school at Letcher, played for my cousin Tim DeTillia, won a state championship. The next year, Tim retired. Dwayne Jenkins takes over. They win a state championship. He has not played quarterback at LSU. He's been a running back, a defensive back, a wide receiver. He is now taking snaps under center for LSU.
Interesting.
So Mike,
he's never played it at the college level.
Well, it's going to be like the Denver Broncos quarterback. Remember when we played Denver last year? They had the Wake Forest quarterback who they moved to receiver. They couldn't even get a first down. It was kind of like the Saints. We were 0 for 12, 1 of 15, 34 down. So, Mike, can he throw well enough? Because
he's pretty good. Now, he will roll a little erratic. That's why he didn't play quarterback in college. But he's a tremendous athlete. They never found a position for him that was really right for him in college. But I think it came from above. Hey, he's played quarterback. Let's give him a shot there. They have a walk-on in Matt O'Dowd. That's what you're looking at, either the walk-on or Kirkland.
Well, and Mike, I wanted to bring this up because we were talking about this about 12:30 this morning before we went off the air.
We weren't out tipping the glass.
Yeah, we were out till 1:15 doing the post-game show. But you look, the mystique, the Fighting Irish, Notre Dame and all that. Man, Notre Dame quarterbacks have, as of late, Mike, you got to talk about that. They have sucked. I mean, I'll tell you, they haven't even won. Mike's going to tell you this. It's unbelievable. You got to go back to quarterbacks older than me. Like Joe Montana. We heard of Joe Montana.
Joe Theismann.
Yeah, you got to go way back to have success. Michael, what was that number?
The last 24 games a Notre Dame quarterback has started, they have lost.
0-24.
0-24
in the NFL.
And the last game a Notre Dame quarterback started and won was 2012. Brady Quinn, and he's doing TV today.
Yeah, and he's doing TV.
Well,
so it just goes to show you, Brian Kelly went to the game, to support Ian Book and all. He might say, well, I hope this doesn't happen coming to Louisiana, that I didn't work out at LSU. Because I'm telling you, he wants to support Ian Book.
Well,
and Ian Book,
it's not fair to evaluate. You know that, Bobby, but still.
I know that he's the winningest quarterback in Notre Dame history, but the NFL's a different animal.
Yeah, he found out the hard way.
It's a little quicker than that practice schedule.
And you're talking about guys that are 300 pounds
that
were chasing you down.
Yeah.
He never had that in Notre Dame since he played Alabama.
Mike, he thought he was off the puck one time. He got just snatched with more stroke than a ground. That never happened.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Ida, insurance companies may try to pay you much less than your losses or even deny your claim altogether. St. Martin and Bork and Hoffa Duval are partnering together to help you during this difficult time. Our hurricane insurance recovery attorneys will fight for you and your loved ones. Go to myidaclaim.com for your free case review today. Never give up because your insurance company has denied your claim, and never accept a lowball offer. Let St. Martin and Bork and Hoffa Duval help you weather the storm. Visit myidaclaim.com today.
There are many strengths in our cancer center. I think one of the biggest is patients don't have to go elsewhere to get technology for their diagnosis and treatment of their cancer. Our treatment machine, the linear accelerator, allows us to pinpoint and treat cancers with more accuracy than ever was possible before. Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center provides leading-edge technology with the highest quality care and the best treatment options unique to each patient.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafourche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou. Martin, you in the suite?
I'm in the suite. Mom is still a little under the weather, but representing Mom, her brother, Uncle Jerry, and her sister, Aunt Miriam. Y'all give them a round of applause. All right, y'all got enough food? All good. All good. All right, we got more if you need it. All right, let me come out here because I see Coach Gaino in the crowd and Coach Groh. They played against each other throughout the years, and we're going to have Coach Gaino on in a little bit to talk about his coaching days. But
well, he's
Coach
been around
Gaino,
a long time, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, we're going to get to that. It's big time. Yeah. But look, Coach Gaino, I couldn't help at the BioPure table. I passed a young fella. Stand up. Watch. Stand up. And let's face this camera over here. He has a Berwick shirt on. And it sparked my memory. And let me just say, what grade are you in Berwick?
8th grade.
In Berwick, any recollections at Berwick?
Yes, I graduated in '95, but I guess Berwick and Vanderbilt back in the day used to have some quite good rivalries. So like mainly the 77 and 78 season. From what I read up on the past stats on that, I guess Berwick pretty much creamed Vanderbilt in 77.
Whoa, Martin, that happened? You never told me about that.
Hold on.
And apparently Coach Gaino was fired up from that and had a few altercations with the fans. So it fired him up for next year, and he returned the favor. He got his revenge.
That's amazing you would say that because they beat us our junior year 35-0. Our senior year, we beat them 44-0. It was late in the game, and we had a chance to just sit on the football. And Coach Gaino, what happened at that point?
Well, we just happened to go for it. Martin's questioned me about that food. He said there was about a minute left in the game. We went. I said, no, you're wrong. There was about 3 minutes left in the game.
So we weren't just going to do a kneel down with the quarterback. We were going to stick because there's 3 minutes left, right, Coach?
It's a long time ago.
Bob, we never practiced that.
Never practiced a kneel down.
All I know is we were going to beat Berwick worse than they beat us the year before, right, Coach?
That's correct.
That's
so I am officially accurate on that statement.
I have to say that Coach Kano, we have a relationship goes way back when. It's not what you think. But one of my favorite lines from Coach Kano, he says, "When you're going in the wrong direction, speeding up won't help." My favorite line. I've used it 1,000 times.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
You could use it as a coach, I'm sure, many, many times. Isn't that a great line?
I want to thank the naming sponsors too, St. Martin and Bork. Then look, we got a COVID crowd today. We can't help it, but it's a COVID crowd. But y'all give it up for St. Martin and Bork and Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. We're going to save a little time because I'm interested in hearing the Coach Gano, Coach Grill days in baseball. So we'll take a break and we'll be right back.
Over the years, Louisiana's Cajun Bayou has seen more than its fair share of challenges. We're no strangers to adversity, and we know what it's like to struggle. These are unprecedented times, and while people will say this time is like nothing they've ever seen, we've heard that before. And just like all the other times, we'll get through this. Remember the good times. Remember Lafouche.
Here at South Louisiana Bank, we support our neighbors, the organizers, the helpers, the leaders, the dreamers. We support those that move our community forward. Louisiana has grown from the dedication, commitment, and loyalty of the people who call this beautiful place home. We are proud to offer our services to the communities in South Louisiana. South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafouche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Motti.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou. Martin?
All right, as usual, we always get somebody a little prettier than me to introduce the corporate
I would agree
sponsor.
to that.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Bob. No problem. So, Stephanie, who do we have?
We have St. Martin and Bork, attorney at law, Louisiana Cajun Bayou, South Louisiana Bank, Terrebonne General Health System Community Sports Institute, Barker Honda, Alfred and Associates, and BioPure.
All right, look at Terrebonne General. When Amos walked in the room, Rich went give him a big old hug because Rich didn't realize that Percy has a twin identical brother.
No, even Hebert noticed that.
Well, so Rich is talking to Amos like he's Percy, and Amos is looking at Rich going, I don't even know what you're talking about.
When I walked in, I'm like, whoa, I thought I'm rubbing my eyes, I'm looking, yes.
I stayed up too late last night.
No, and then I'm saying, that's the same mom and daddy, I know that.
That's a pretty good observation.
Damn, that's really good, Bob.
I tell you
Quote
what,
of the year.
I always knew you were one of the smarter ones.
Hey, Martin, I got to say something. Go to show how popular this show is. Last Thursday night, we have Will Wade on, okay, on WWL. Yeah. And one of the first things he asked me is, hey, Mike, how's everything on Sports on the Bayou? I said, no, we're doing pretty good. I said, I got my issues, with the mayor and Lester trying to take care of them. He said, good luck with that, buddy.
Yeah. Now, wait, let me tell you something. Lester picks his friends. I met Rouse's in Homer yesterday, and I'm walking by, and I glance to the right. See the mayor. Wayne Bro's in his Suburban. and he's just sitting there at the driver's seat. I said, man, what you doing? He was listening to y'all.
Oh, okay.
He's listening to y'all while his wife is in Rouse's slaving over the basket, picking up all the I saw his wife in the store. He's sitting there listening to y'all while the wife's in there doing the shopping. You got it made, don't you?
I did help unload the groceries.
That's what I do. That's what I do. You know what I like to eat? I know what you can buy whatever you want to eat. And I will help you unload the groceries. You got to
get to dig in the bag.
Brussels sprouts were on sale yesterday, by the way.
Oh, were they?
Any of y'all like Brussels sprouts? I love Brussels sprouts.
That's my favorite.
Y'all don't eat Brussels sprouts in Berwick?
I did. I've been eating them.
Y'all don't eat that in Berwick?
Love them. But you got to grill them. You got to make them a little different, not just boil them.
Got to be soft.
Shred them, put onions in there.
I just got one word leading to the break that I want to pose to y'all because I've been hearing it on TV and I'm like, it makes me nauseated. And that word is playoffs.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
Bobby, you remember that?
No, that wasn't me. I wasn't playing it.
Well,
That was.
So he's defensive now.
No. That was with Peyton Manning.
That's true.
Those days, Peyton Manning. You know, I don't feel as bad. We never won a playoff game under Coach Mara, but they didn't win a playoff game with Peyton Manning and the Colts. Coach Mara has not won an NFL playoff game.
Think about that. All those times he got
let me
in
tell you, in 83, 84, 85, he was in 3 straight championships. We beat him in 83 as Michigan Panthers, and they won back-to-back in 84 and 85. They beat us in 85, was it the Oakland Invaders, and we beat them in 83. But Mike, he was in 3 championships.
Okay, who did he beat for the last one?
No, he beat us, the Oakland Invaders. In 84, he beat the Arizona Outlaws and George Allen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, look, one thing about Coach Moore, when Ed Daniels would ask that first question, and Coach Moore would go off, and me and Harry were young reporters at the time, Coach Moore would just go off on him.
Oh, without a doubt.
He'd look at the rest of the reporters and go, anything else?
No,
nobody would ask another question.
I got one better than that. He fired me. I was doing the show at the Gulfport. We were at the casino with Ron Swoboda. They would do his show, and then they'd cut to us, and we'd interview and stuff. And I asked him a question. He said, "What's wrong with you, Marty? You know better than that. I can't believe you asked me." And so the next week, we all came back with hard hats on, Ron and I, with our names on, because he got our names mixed up, and he fired me after that. He said, "Call the station. You're out of here." I got fired.
And you look at Coach Mara, God bless him, because when I'm in my mid-80s, I might probably won't even be able to make a sentence. I mean, he's on TV now with Channel 6.
Yeah.
I mean, Coach Moore, he looks good.
He's 80-something years old.
Mid-80s. I'm going to say, no, he's 85 years old. What?
Yeah.
If I'm 85, I'm hoping I can walk, without a walker.
It's probably time to take up another hobby, though, I would think. Huh?
No, he sometimes, I think he wings it because he goes back to, the days.
We do that now, 6.
Sometimes.
We got to take a break. We'll be right back.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Ida, insurance companies may try to pay you much less than your losses or even deny your claim altogether. St. Martin and Bork and Hoffest Duval are partnering together to help you during this difficult time. Our hurricane insurance recovery attorneys will fight for you and your loved ones. Go to myidaclaim.com for your free case review today. Never give up because your insurance company has denied your claim, and never accept a lowball offer. Let St. Martin and Bork and Hoffest Duval help you weather the storm. Visit myidaclaim.com today.
Are you looking for a new or used vehicle? Well, come check us out at Barker Honda because we get new, updated inventory daily.
We're offering top dollar for your trade.
Give us the opportunity to buy your car.
We offer new and used financing.
Come check out our award-winning trucks.
For cars, trucks, SUVs, come check us out.
Our sales specialists can help find the vehicle just for you.
We're getting new inventory daily.
Come down and see us on Martin Luther King Boulevard in Holman. Always remember,
it's better at Barker.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafourche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Motti.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou. Keith, I'm going to throw it to you, brother. How you been?
Thanks, Brother Mike. Doing very well. I got to tell you, it was really interesting. You know, we're talking about Coach Moore, and something really interesting in the Dome last night. We're going to talk about the fans in just a minute, but it was interesting as we were in the Dome. They always do the us versus them.
Okay.
And they do the big comparison, things from Miami or things from Florida, and they said famous coaches' quotes. And boy, we were all getting a little nervous about what they were going to say. They showed Coach Saban as the head coach of Miami. I'm not going to Alabama. I'm not going to Alabama. Stop asking the question. I'm not going to Alabama. Got a little bit of a chuckle. Then it showed Jim Mora. And I think we were all waiting for the playoff question. But the statement ended up being very apropos to the game last night, which was, we didn't do diddly poo. We couldn't have offense. We didn't have defense. We didn't do anything. He got a standing ovation in the press box last night.
Oh, yeah. The whole woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Right.
That was the 49er loss?
The 49er loss. We came back to strike here in 87. And, the players we used to bum Phillips, bums, older in age, said, well, we did good, boys. We'll get them next week. And all of a sudden, it's like 32-30. We lost the game. And Mara comes in there, and he goes, yeah, we would have won. We could have won. We should have won, but we didn't. We suck. And, everybody's like, whoa. Well, and then you know what? We went on a 9-game winning streak.
Yep, right after that.
So we responded to that.
One of the other things that was very interesting was the crowd last night. They came ready. They were loud.
Right, at the beginning.
But you got to give them something to cheer for.
No, you're exactly right, Mike. But you know what? It's one of those things where South Louisiana's been hit really hard. All of us have really kind of felt the sting. I mean, think about what down in South Louisiana, all of the problems and all of the things that we've dealt with. The fans go out there to have some fun. One of the doctors in town told me today, I asked him if he was going to the game. He said, of course I'm going to the game. I go to the game because it's exciting. I go to the game because we need something to cheer for. And they really came out strong. And then it kind of teed off, but Bobby's perspective on leaving was a lot of perspective in there. But it's interesting that we still have a chance in the playoffs.
Yes.
Still, even as badly as that happens, but we got to show up. Ed Daniels said that after our 5-game loss. He said, we got to show up and play. We got to win a game. And so hopefully we can do that and win a game. We haven't won in the Dome at all.
If you lose this Sunday, then it's over.
No, if we lose to Carolina, it's over. It's an NFC opponent. But then we'd be 1-7 the last 8 games. Right now we're 1-6. You got to beat Carolina. I'm telling you, it could come down to we beat Carolina because Carolina, the way they played, we should beat them. I think players hopefully are coming back.
Right.
But I'm telling you, watch the last game at Atlanta. That we got to get after Matt Ryan. We sack him 3 more times.
Atlanta would love to stick it to you and knock you out.
That's exactly right.
Right.
They would, but I don't think it's going to happen. So I'm going to need some crowd help here. We all know what we've been through. It's been a tough year, but it's a brand new 22. It's a brand new 22. Join me now. It's a brand new 22. It's a brand new 22. It's a brand new 22. So, guys, we got something to look forward to. We got to find a way, just like the Saints, they got to put that loss last night behind them. We got to get our support back. Same thing we need to do in our community. Get our support back, and we can make a difference. Find a way to do something different. We got to change things and do something different. Get the guys back on the field.
Yes.
Find a way to get some blocking in and get something done. You only have a few seconds, Rich. I got to go out on time.
Oh, no, you got the wrong
one.
Oh, I'm sorry. What I was going to say is,
Rich always
don't realize
has a few seconds.
There's just not that many great NFL players when you get past that first level. And you start getting down to the third level, and you see these are college players, basically.
No, when you say next man up, next man up.
I've been telling them.
Guess what? Next man up is going to be Martin Falls with Coach Crow, Coach Gano. We're going to take a short break. Don't go anywhere. More with Sports on the Bayou.
Over the years, Louisiana's Cajun Bayou has seen more than its fair share of challenges. We're no strangers to adversity, and we know what it's like to struggle. These are unprecedented times, and while people will say this time is like nothing they've ever seen, we've heard that before. And just like all the other times, we'll get through this. Remember the good times. Remember LaFouche.
For years, Tony Alford and Priscilla Larpenter have been the foundation of what is now Alford & Associates. Their passion and vision have been embedded company-wide. It's about making sure that our community is strong and protected for the next generation.
I have such respect and pride for our company, and I'm excited to bring new and innovative ideas to our clients.
It's quite simple. It's the mindset of our organization to protect you from life's hardships.
Your benefits are our business.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember LaFouche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford & Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou. Bobby J had to go take a little break. Either that or I had to break out the mop. So, Martin, you got it.
It's a sports show. He wouldn't take a leak. All right. When you see Coach grow, that's a late laugh, Lester. That's good, though.
He's just getting it,
He's like Ed McMahon. You are correct, sir. When you see Coach Grow and Coach Gano in the same audience, you got to get them up to talk a little bit. That rivalry that went on, but the respect that they had for each other. Coach, what a great rivalry back in the days.
It absolutely was, and Edmond always had well-prepared teams. It was a pleasure playing E.D. White. It was a heck of a rivalry. It was always a good game, but there was great respect between the two teams.
And Coach Grow, you also played against Lewis's brother, right?
I did.
Against Brian's brother.
Very, very good team. They had Al Stegmarie, Louis Gano, S.P. LaRussa, they were loaded, but we had good rivalries then when I was playing. But then when I started coaching, us and E.D. White and Vanderbilt, a very good rivalry.
I played for Coach Gano, and there's always situations. So when you got in the game, everything that came up, you knew because you had been through it in practice. So y'all had to prepare, and I'm sure you were the same way.
Sure. Oh, yeah. We especially when we played Vanderbilt. They were so well coached, They had good ball players, and like you said, we had to defend, and we practices. We practice hard against them. Let me tell you.
Yeah, we know about the state championships at E.D. White and Thibodeau, but trivia, Coach Gano was the last Terrebonne Parish school in '71 to win a state championship, and correct me if I'm wrong, Coach, I don't think any Terrebonne school has won a state championship in baseball since then.
That's what I've been told. I've been away from here for about 28 years, but I've been told that by my former players, that none of the other parish schools have won a state championship since then.
That's fantastic. One of the players was Terry Bro. He was a sophomore back then, and what was it like playing for Coach Gano?
Look, Coach Gano was the best. That's all I can tell you. Y'all said this already about being prepared. We were ready for whatever. The first thing you had to do was you ask yourself the main question. If the ball's hit to me, what do I do with it? And if you got that done, then the rest is easy. You just got to make the play. But I really do want to say I am fortunate to be up here with these two guys. These are the most genuine guys that I've been around and associated with. Two of the best coaches. They just said that all along back in the day. It's a pleasure for me to be here. That's all I got to say.
And so could you hit a curveball? Coach, could he hit a curveball?
Yes, he could.
Okay,
He was the four-sport letterman, and he was a shortstop and a very good hitter. So he was a tremendous athlete.
Always said, Terry,
what happened?
Terry, show him your hands. Put your hands up. Look at those mitts.
Terry,
look at that.
What happened?
Well, he reached his peak in high school.
No, I can say as an underclassman watching these guys play, we aspired to be like them. They had some great athletes and great teams, no doubt.
Yeah, we're tremendous athletes. We used to laugh about it. Some of the other coaches would always ask, they said, man, I figured you would have to rebuild. You're losing some good seniors, you're rebuilding, and they would kid me, they said, all you're doing is reloading every year. And because we had tremendous athletes.
Well, and always remember about Terry, he got a beautiful daughter.
You would figure he would, that's what he would remember.
The one I know.
How did we go from baseball legends to Terry's got a great looking daughter?
No, because when
you gave him a mic, that's why.
Because when I see Terry, I remember your daughter would come to a number of shows.
She is great looking.
She would come to a number of shows. I hadn't seen her in a while.
Yeah,
taking care of the kiddies.
I want to mention about Brian. I know Brian, and we did some corporate training together, did the Dale Carnegie stuff, and I know great coaches are great teachers and great mentors, and I know Brian has done that. He's a teacher. That's what great coaches do. They teach. They want their students to be smarter and better than they are. So
that's a great point. Both of these guys up here were teachers first.
Coach Payton views himself as a teacher.
Right.
You know, even at the highest level, everybody who's coaching.
And he always talks about that part of me teaching someone.
Yes, it's not just like, okay, I'm in charge with it. It's like wanting that mindset to process information that you know to help a player. That's one of Coach Payton's, he told me, like, greatest achievements when he sees a player progress. Because like a teacher to a student, can you get better? Whether it's academic-wise or sports-wise. So Coach Payton is, Mike, you've heard him say that. He views himself as a teacher. Now, a highly paid teacher.
Really highly paid.
Let me close the segment with this. We had a young fellow on. We were doing the Edie White pregame in Lafayette the other day. And we were about to give $10,000 to the 100th interview that week on Edie White. And all of a sudden, we got to this young fella. Let's roll that in, Jay, if we can.
My name is Kate Bourmont.
After this.
My name is Stella, and I'm 9 years old. My name is Ben Dover, and I'm 11 years old.
So look,
Hunter. Kale.
Ben Dover would have been the 100th person interviewed, and we were going to give $10,000. The deadline's over with. We looked for Ben all week long, Bobby and Rich and Mike, and we couldn't find him.
You couldn't find Ben Dover?
We couldn't find him.
No, was it Ben Dover? No,
I'm not quite sure, Bob. We looked and looked and looked for Ben Dover, and we couldn't find him.
Well, you didn't see his uncle? You met his uncle over the hill?
Well, no, he was going to get $10,000. He could have gave half to Edie White, but
right.
Coach, y'all blew that one, didn't y'all?
Sure did.
Do you know the young Ben Dover?
I think I've seen him, but I don't know him personally.
So somebody set him up, huh?
He doesn't know Ben Dover personally.
Martin, next topic.
No, I think we got to go to a break. We still are looking for Ben Dover, but the deadline's over with, so we're going to give him $10 instead of $10,000. All right?
There you go.
We'll be right back.
All right.
Was your business interrupted by Hurricane Ida? You may be entitled to compensation. Insurance companies may try to pay you much less than your losses, or even deny your claim altogether. St. Martin and Bork and Hoffa's Duval are partnering together to fight for your fair payout. Go to myidaclaim.com for your free case review today. Never give up because your insurance company has denied your claim, and never accept a lowball offer. Let St. Martin and Bork and Hoffa's Duval help you weather the storm. Visit myidaclaim.com today.
Curtis Calais Welding has been providing contract labor for the offshore oil and gas industry for over 28 years. Curtis Calais Welding is now hiring. All applicants must have a TWIC card and be able to pass an occupational medical exam and a drug screen. Triple C Towing has a fleet of 2 inland tugs to provide service for the oil and gas industry. All vessels are provided with experienced personnel, and we do what we say we will do. Curtis Calais Welding, now hiring, and Triple C Towing, ready to work.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafouche. And by St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e., Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford & Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou. Guys, I don't know how you feel about it, but adding an extra team to the playoffs, to me, it's
watered down.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. You're putting water in the soup here. You're getting to that brink. I understand why.
Because of money.
Because of TV money, and you get to extend it a little bit.
And more hope. Cities have more hope. Just look, the NFL loves it right now. Look how many teams are still in the playoff picture. You know, they might say, now, the one thing I do not want to see, now we got 17 games, because we had 16, you could say 8-8. To me, if you have a losing record, it's like, okay, to me, if you're 7-9, okay, so now, if you think about it right now, okay, Mike, 8-9 team going to the postseason is like a 6-6 team going to a bowl game. You know, but like a bowl, so you reward everybody, to go to a bowl and all that. To me, I think as Americans, we like winners, and we look at losers. It's just the way it is. Not like, okay, everybody, if you're 500, okay, that's acceptable. But now, to me, 9-8 and 8-9 is unbelievable. 9-8, you had a winning season. So you can work miracles. I told Mike this last night. If you remember the season, Mike, what was the year?
Seattle was 7-9.
No. You had to go travel to Seattle, and you won double digits to the Saints.
Yeah,
2010.
we lost to Seattle.
2010.
That's a good example. But also the Giants. The year the New York Giants won the Super Bowl. 2011. In early December, they were ready to run Tom Coughlin and Eli Manning out of town. Get the hell out of New York. They were ready, and they won the damn Super Bowl. And that was early December. So to me, 500, like 9-8, no. Look at Tampa Bay last year. When they won an 8-game winning streak. They were 7-5 at one time, had the bye week, they went on that winning streak. So I don't have a problem with 9-8. 8-9, to me, should not be rewarded at the postseason.
Listen, I agree. An 8-9 team shouldn't be in, but we understand money's involved and how it's done. And also, too, I think coaches like it because it might save my job. If I got a losing 8-9 team and I don't make the playoffs, I may have a shot to get fired. But if I get into the playoffs with 8-9, I got a chance. I say, why are you firing us for? We got into the playoffs. I do think there's some underlining stuff involved with that. But money is the big part of this. And so for Saints fans, you got to watch what's going on in San Francisco and certainly Philadelphia. Those are the two teams to watch. And we'll see if Jimmy Garoppolo.
We have to cheer for the Cowgirls to beat the Eagles.
So you're going to vote for the Cowgirls?
Hell yes, to get the Eagles down.
Jump on the band.
Yeah, cheer for the Rams over the 49ers.
Sports on the Bayou.
Over the years, Louisiana's Cajun Bayou has seen more than its fair share of challenges. We're no strangers to adversity, and we know what it's like to struggle. These are unprecedented times, and while people will say this time is like nothing they've ever seen, we've heard that before. And just like all the other times, we'll get through this. Remember the good times. Remember Lafouche.
Leg pain, swelling, or ulcers can be signs of vascular disease in the legs. This lack of blood flow can lead to amputation if not treated. Varicose or spider veins may also be signs of venous disease and are more than just a cosmetic problem. Trust the most advanced team of leg pain specialists at Cardiovascular Institute of the South to reopen blockages in the legs and offer minimally invasive in-clinic vein treatments. If you experience leg pain, swelling, or have visible veins, schedule an appointment with us today at cardio.com.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. You'll remember Lafourche. And by St. Martin and Bourke, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Sports on the Bayou corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, i.e. Terrebonne General Health Systems and their Community Sports Institute. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And BioPure, disinfecting environmental services. Now let's go back to Sports on the Bayou with Mike Detillier, Bobby Hebert, and Rich Maury.
We're finishing it up here on Sports on the Bayou. Martin?
All right, real quick, got about 30 seconds left. Terry made a good point, though.
Hey, listen, y'all just mentioned the Cowgirls and the Saints. The Cowgirls got to go to Philly. They got something to play for, don't they?
Yes, because also the Rams have something to play for. The 49ers got to go there. So the reason why Dallas has to beat Philly, because we lost head-to-head. So that's one team, I don't know, I challenge.
But you only got one team that's going to sit it out, okay? That's Green Bay.
Yeah.
They don't have two teams like in yesteryear to do it. So I'm wondering if the Cowboys say, you know what, we got our record. Let's just get into the playoffs and be healthy. Because there is some mindset to that but with some coaches.
Yeah, you don't want to lose momentum, though.
Well, the one thing with the Eagles, right quick, Martin, is that look, we challenged Dennis Allen. The last two games we played the Eagles, they've run for 500 yards. And we got a good run defense, but not against Jalen Hurts and the Eagles.
You don't want to see that RPO anymore. They don't want to see that.
So, that we lost head-to-head. We got to hope that the Eagles aren't involved.
All right, Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
2022 is going to be the year. 2022. Thank y'all.